Billy here.
Angel here.
And Baby.
And Baby.
Thank you for joining us for the Natural Lifestyle Show. This evening, I'm going to be making salsa. This is something that I really love to make. There's different ways of doing it. I'm going to make this as simple. You just need 1 onion. I got a couple tomatoes, and these are the tomatoes on the vine. Got a lime. I like jalapeno peppers. If y'all have been following us, you know this. And I got cilantro. I got some Himalayan pink salt. And I got ground pepper because I like ground pepper. So what I'm going to do first, we're going to cut up the tomatoes. Take the vine off the tomatoes. And tomatoes is something that's very interesting. I've always loved tomatoes. I remember when I was a kid, I would go out into the garden and I would pick fresh tomatoes. And you know, there's nothing in the world like a fresh tomato you got out from, you know, out in the sun that's growing outside. But come to find out that people used to believe that tomatoes were poison. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. I did know that.
You know, and it wasn't until I believe it was in the 1700s that people actually started looking into tomatoes as far as eating. And could you imagine being at that time just starting to eat a tomato? I mean, don't know how they started eating it, you know, what they used it for. But you know, it's pretty interesting that since then, you know, tomatoes is in a whole lot of different foods. So I found that something that was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that stemmed from the fact that the leaves are poisonous, and I guess maybe some animals were avoiding them or something, the tomatoes, and they were going by whether or not the animals were eating them. I think I remember reading that.
Yeah, and you know, actually it was Thomas Jefferson who it was in Paris, and he actually started eating some tomatoes then, and he sent some tomatoes back, and then someone else, which I cannot remember the person's name at this time, took the tomatoes and started making different varieties of them. They actually think that tomatoes, I mean, even though we started eating them here in America, they actually believe that they come from somewhere else. They just thought that was really interesting how tomatoes came about, how we started eating them. Because, you know, tomatoes is something I would really love eating.
Well, I'd like to point out, too, that that's in a recent history. There's been so much history throughout the world, you know.
Yeah, who really knows? I mean,
I know that people were probably eating them from day one, but then
yes.
History ebbs and flows, and people forget things, and people are, you know, it's a bunch of different stuff going on. But that's good recent history there.
Yeah. That is really good. I thought it was really interesting myself.
It is. I do remember hearing that, and I thought it was interesting, too. I really did. How many servings would you say that this is that you're making?
Probably in the end, it would probably be 2 servings. That's what I was thinking.
How many servings would it be for you?
Oh, I'll eat this in one setting. We'll eat this in one. And this is going to be something really quick and easy, like for, you know, parties, Super Bowl Sundays, you know, things like that. And like I said, it's something that's just really delicious and something that's really not hard at all to make and just take a matter of minutes. So, and you know, the better you are with a knife, the quicker it is. Me, I'm just trying to be a little careful.
And some people put these ingredients in the blender and pulse it, you know, real quick to have more of a soup-like consistency. But he really likes it like this, just cut up.
Yeah, I like mine chunky. That's what they call it, chunky. I like mine chunky. I don't now, and you know, like I said, there's different ways of doing this. Mine is just simple, and it's just things that I really like. People, you know, tend to. I mean, this is something you really be creative with. I know that my wife, Angel, she likes guacamole with hers.
Yeah, or even just cut up avocado in it and mix it up. Also, you could put mango, pineapple, cucumber.
Yeah, peaches.
Do you remember, we went to Whole Foods last summer, I believe it was, or maybe the summer before last, and they had that peach salsa. Do you remember
Oh,
that?
that was so
Whew,
good.
I can't. I'm really looking forward to if they have that again.
Yeah,
this
that
year.
was so good. I mean, that really had your taste buds going.
It did. We'll have
you
to
like
make
peaches,
some of our own.
yeah, if you like peaches, that was something that would really be good for you. And you know, it's pretty simple. Just same thing we're doing here. You just add it. And I'm not going to add the whole onion because onions are pretty strong in themselves.
Well, we probably won't keep it, so if you want the rest of it, we just throw it on. We don't keep onions, so if we don't use it all,
And we don't.
Yeah.
If we don't use it all in the same setting, it usually gets thrown away
Yeah.
because onions has its own nutrients to it, and after a while, it's just not there.
Well, I don't really know if that's the case, but we did hear that that it draws bacteria and things into it, and it may make you sick from like airborne contaminants if it stays out. I don't know if the nutritional value will go down, but I do know that is what people are saying. I don't know any hardcore research on that, but I wouldn't really want to take the chance.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But just like with anything else, you want to be safe.
Yeah.
And I'm just chopping the cilantro up just a little bit more.
Yeah, we love cilantro around here.
Yeah, I love the cilantro. I'm gonna tell you what. And if you watched our videos, you know that the cilantro is a really good detox.
Especially of mercury from the brain area.
Yeah. So cilantro, I try to put it in as about as much stuff as I can. Same thing, when we found out the same thing like with broccoli. Broccoli is good for helping to detox.
That was parsley.
It's parsley? Okay.
Parsley. Yeah, we did
My fault.
We did the parsley and cilantro video. I think cilantro is a bit more of a detoxer, though, than parsley, in my opinion.
Okay, and now we've got the jalapeno peppers. And the thing of it is, with the jalapeno peppers, you can do it two ways. You can either just cut it up and take the seeds out. If you leave the seeds in, it is going to be a little hotter.
A lot hotter, if you ask me.
Yeah, if you ask Angel, it's going to be a lot hotter. And since she may eat a little bit of this, I'm not going to put the seeds in it. She may say she's not going to,
but then I might eat it
she
anyway.
might eat some. So I'm not putting the seeds in it.
There's been many times when I didn't think I was going to eat something and I ended up
And
eating
she
a little.
ended up eating a little.
Or more.
So, and like I said, all this is you just cut it up. That's all you're doing.
Okay.
And I mean, here we just been doing this for a few minutes and we're almost done.
Yep.
And of course, the bigger the bowl or the more people you're having, the more ingredients you're going to need. And like I said, you get creative. You can do different things like we talked about. And all that's going to take a little time. So, I wouldn't say wait till the last minute to do it. I would say, depending on what all you're going to do, you might want to do it like an hour ahead. And just, put it in a bowl, put a top on it, slide it in the refrigerator.
If you were having like a party or something, I just had an idea. Like a salsa buffet might be neat. Like have a bowl of diced, like pineapple, a bowl of diced peaches, a bowl of diced tomato, a bowl of diced onion. Just let
That's a
people
good
go
idea.
and spoon it in. And at the end have wedges of lime and cilantro to squeeze the lime on and put the cilantro in. So that way they have exactly what they want in their salsa. Have a salsa party.
That's a very good idea. And that right there would probably be the best way to do it. Is have everybody create their own.
Yeah, that would be really cool. That'd be a fun little summertime party.
That would probably be a good hit. That would be a good hit there. That way everybody gets what they want.
Hey, yay for getting what you want. Yay! Yay.
So we're almost done. And
Hey. Hey.
like I said, I love jalapeno peppers.
I think they add a really good flavor. If somebody just put just a little bitty bit of jalapeno without the seed, then it does lend a good flavor in my opinion. But, it just, to me, when my mouth starts burning to the point that I can't taste the food anymore, that's when I don't like it. But I know that I'm obviously more sensitive than other people, I think, because I don't think it affects everybody like that.
No, and me, see, the hotter the better. I mean, I'm not saying I want it firehouse hot, but I want to know it's there.
Well, I know it's there.
And you know, some people, if you eat cooked food, this is something that's good. You can put black beans with
And rice.
and rice. You know, matter of fact, if you shop at Whole Foods, they have this, and they have it with black beans with it.
Oh yeah, they have it pre-made with a few black beans in it sometimes.
Yeah, and it's pretty affordable too. I mean, I think it's like around $8.
Well, for a little bowl,
Got
it's
lime.
like about $4.
And like I said, you just get real creative with it. This is just something that we come up with, and I sort of like it like
Mommy's
this. Like I
hair.
said, we both make it differently.
Baby's got mommy's
But
hair.
I do like that idea about the salsa party.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really big hit.
Maybe we'll do that this summer.
Yeah, and you know.
Or if you're having a raw vegan potluck or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or party, that would be cool.
That would be.
Or it would be a good way to encourage other people to eat vegetables and fruits.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get somebody to make their own creation, it makes it fun for them.
Yeah, that just brings out the kid in everyone. And I just take the knife and I stir it a little bit as I go. That way I get the lime in everything. Because the lime, lime helps, keep everything looking all nice and fresh, and it gives it that added flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now for people that like salt, just add just a little bit of salt. I'm not we eat salt, but we don't eat a lot of salt.
Yeah.
So, just that's just a little bit more than a pinch. And don't need all that.
And I was telling Billy the other day that I've noticed with raw foods that if you do add salt, most of the time you don't have to add as much as you do to cooked foods. For some reason, it's just, comes out more.
Yeah, I think it has
flavor.
its natural salt or something already.
Well, yeah,
in it.
the tomatoes do have some natural sodium in it, so that probably plays a part with that.
And just a little bit of pepper. And me, I'm always been a pepper fan.
I'm not so much a pepper person. But I will eat pepper sometimes. If it's already in the food. But I'll never put it on there just to be putting it on there.
And voila. This is what we made in just a few minutes. And like I said, you can do different things to it. You can get creative. If you come up with any creations, let us know about it. It may be something we're willing to try. We may even do a video on it. So let us know and give us a thumb up for the video. Subscribe to our newsletter.
And our channel. Yeah, the link will be below to sign up for the newsletter. And that way you can keep up to date with us. We'll let you know when we have new videos out and just all kinds of stuff. So do sign up for the newsletter.
And thank you for joining us. I'm going to enjoy this salsa. Y'all have a great evening.
Yeah, and stay tuned for just a second. I'll get a close-up of them real quick. Have a good one.
Thank you.
This is Billy with his salsa, and I'll get a real close-up of it. Look at that.
Yum.
That's some delicious goodness right there.
And it's all organic, and it's all good for you.
Mm-mm.